Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the OS World Cup 2021. It is the start of a new week. And to open up today, we've got a fantastic match between Australia and Singapore. I'm Azer, and I'm joined yet again by Monk Gatso. How's it going?
Hey, dude, what's up, dude? Keen to get this quarterfinals bracket started. This is, of course, the first match of this losers bracket match, so it is goodbye for either of these teams here. A bit scary, a lot on the line, but yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, honestly, even if you look at the seeding between these two teams, it's between 14 and 25, and you could say Australia's seed 14 was definitely a bit of like an underperformance, right? So I think a lot of people would favor Australia for this match, but I think if you look at Singapore's scores, they definitely have what it takes to fight, right? Like, I'm expecting something good here.
Oh, absolutely. I was going through some of the research for the match, and I was like, yo, Singapore's scores on these maps are really good. Like, these are S tier like scores. These are really high. So definitely not coming in as they're definitely coming in as the underdog here, with Australia, of course, having such a higher seed. But yeah, they could definitely take a lot of maps, and I wouldn't be so surprised to see this match go either way, to be honest.
I think something that's pretty interesting too is that these teams tend to favor different things. So I think it's very likely that we just see them taking their own picks over and over again, right? Eventually, yeah. I think they'll probably run out, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The picks are going to be so important this game, and as we get later through the stage, those skill sets certainly start to be a lot more outlierish. You know, you're going to get a lot harder on the niche maps. The NoMod 6 as well. I don't think that was in last week, was it?
Nope, this is the first time the map pool was expanded, so there's an extra map in every mod pool, and this is now a best of 11. So lots more things to play, and you have to be consistent at so many different things.
Yep, gonna get into this pick ban, and immediately we've seen Australia go for that AR8 ban, so the hidden 2 knocked off, and Singapore gonna answer with Iron Friends and DT1. There'll be no Itsu demo today, or for this match, unfortunately. So keen for that, but unfortunately that is gone. No.
So there's a couple maps here that I was really looking at in terms of bans, and none of them have been banned yet. So I'm a little bit curious as to how it differs from last week. Singapore so far has only banned NoMod Tech. They still have a second ban here, so they might still do that. But in both of their matches, they have banned NoMod Tech, which is NoMod 4.
Yeah, you mentioned Australia earlier to me. Banning that NoMod 3 out hasn't happened yet, but they are going. It's not going to happen. They've been hidden to a NoMod 6, so definitely go off those sort of. A lot of practice on those maps makes it a lot easier to play. You've got the NoMod 6, really hard to play both Vivace Panda. A lot of memory sort of in that sort of map with the rhythm. If you can't really star read it. Same with the hidden 2. Difficult stuff.
I don't think that is able to be banned, so I think Singapore will have to change their ban if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I mean, I think I was mostly looking at NoMod 3 and 4 for each team respectively, right? I talked about NoMod 4, Singapore has only been banning that, so I mean, if Australia is feeling confident on that, like, they definitely have the players for it, right? So it could be a good pick for them. And I think on the flip side, the one, if you look at the head-to-heads between both of these teams, the only constant that you could really point in the favor of Singapore would be that they're much better on NoMod Alt, which is NoMod 3. So I was kind of expecting Australia to take that out of the way. But I think now that the pool is a little bit harder, it might be the week where you start seeing the impact of players like mrekk and Dumii, who I think are pretty known to do good on those picks, right? So
yeah, absolutely. I think this ban might be maybe Australia's missing a few players, or their AR8's not looking so hot this time around. We'll see if Singapore take advantage of that sort of thing and go for like the free mod styles. Of course, you still got the AR8 open in free mod 2. As Singapore are looking for their second ban, I want to bring up that Dio, the DT4 map. The A one is kind of like a really old style map, and Singapore really got a lot of good old map players. So I want to see if they'll go for that, because they tried to double ban DT. It would be pretty interesting to see them double ban DT, leave one up, and then just go off on it. It'd be awesome.
It's going to be NoMod 5 as their last ban, though, and I do like that. It's pretty close to, I think, what they had in mind. Australia definitely has a pretty strong speed roster, not just in NoMod 5, but also in the various double times that like feature that skill set, right? So probably still a good ban for Singapore. But I mean, the fact that they can't ban both of those DTs kind of leaves both of them, like DT2 and 3, up for Australia, right? So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to want to play around that.
We're definitely seeing a first pick DT3 or DT2 here, considering Singapore tried to ban DT3. I feel like it's almost an instant pick when your opponent sort of makes like a micro blunder. You see what they didn't want to play. So it's super unfortunate there for Singapore that did come about, but who knows, could be 200 IQ, could be some big brain plays.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll take out their DT pick like immediately though. We still don't even know if it's good for them, but it is something that they've tended to prefer. I think Australia's match versus Norway, they basically just exclusively picked speed. So I mean, they, you know, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, that is kind of the aim of the game these days. If you're a bit faster than your opponent, just keep on picking speed. There's so much speed in map pools now with, you know, the NoMod 5 slot and 2 speed sort of slots in DT. There's a lot of it to go. But yeah, this pool's really well done, well balanced. We'll have to see what Singapore answer with. There is a lot. I'm pretty sure all the hard rocks are open. Yeah, all the hard rocks are open, and all the free mods. So a lot to go here.
Yeah, I think just to wrap up with the conversation with speed though, because there's not that much to talk about, because there aren't that many speed maps in this pool. I will say DT2, DT3 are the only ones that are open. None of the hard rocks or free mods have like any speed at all. Like none whatsoever. So there's only 3 speed picks on the table here. One of them was banned, and we're seeing one of them as a first pick here for Australia.
Yeah, we're seeing the DT2. This one, the streams just don't end. It's very similar to the NoMod 5 and like a NoMod 2 sort of. It's got the stamina in there. Yeah, we're definitely Australia looking to speed abuse a little bit here with their first pick. mrekk suffix most certainly will be playing this one. I can expect to see an LR7 on the side of Australia and a Dumii, of course, and it looks like Singapore has their roster set in steel already.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what Singapore's roster will be, because usually I think Tebi stayed in the lobby. Tebi has not played a speed DT yet for this team. Usually it's megumic, Emilia, GSBlank, and Demonical that have been playing all of them, right? So we're not seeing GSBlank in the lobby yet, and we're also not seeing Emilia, so I'm not sure if they're just having a much different roster for this. Emilia actually did really good on the speed DT last round. And even considering these things, right, we're talking about how Australia is really good at speed, but if you head-to-head, the round of 16, DT2 was played for both of these teams, and it was in favor of Singapore.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Singapore has some really good scores on the DT2 last week. This DT2 is a little bit different. This one has a lot like longer bursts. These bursts just keep on going. It might be an issue for, I know Emilia plays like a different play style, so the longer streams might be a bit different. But Australia did have some pretty low scores on this one. 750k, not too bad, but yeah.
Even like you look at the Australian roster, you mentioned LR7, who's not here. He's not playing this map. They're playing suffix instead, which I mean, I guess suffix works for this, right?
Yeah, suffix definitely the key. One of the key speed players on the roster. The interesting swap out there is Vivace on this side of Australia. No slouch to this though. Absolutely in that range. This is still pushing that comfort BPM range for some of these players. We'll have to see how he does in it. But I'm expecting to see Vivace do quite alright on this. I'm more interested to see how Singapore go without Emilia on this one. As we get on into this first map.
As first map of the quarterfinals.
This map is certainly very comfy for most players in the lobby, and not a lot of diff spike. This really, the difficulty in this one is just how long it is and intensive it is throughout the entire thing. So we're seeing everyone get through the first burst easily, and that burst is just copy pasted throughout the entire map, as you can see.
Yeah, early on though, a pretty solid accuracy lead for the Australian team.
Yeah, it's really only Demonical who's kind of lacking in that accuracy department. Suffix kind of following suit, but looks like accuracy is the aim of the game here.
Yeah, this map really just like does not stop. it's not too intense, like it doesn't get too hard, but it is just really it's not that long. It's 3 minutes, but it is a marathon in a way that it just does not stop, right? There's no breaks in this at all. It's pretty constant. Even the slow parts have a pretty significant amount of bursts. This is probably like the most like quiet we'll see this map being at this point. We're halfway in and there's still no breaks to be seen.
I know, right? No one's broken. I played this map through myself today. I was like, this map feels kind of good, but as it gets like later on, your fingers start to wear out. It does get very intensive. just how long it is. We've only just crossed halfway and we're at 1,000 combos, so yeah, a lot in store. And Tebi's going to be the first break on the side of Singapore.
Oh, that's so impactful too.
Right in the middle.
Combo in, man.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be score capped on that one, and really need to see an answer from someone on this side of Australia. Start off here with 4 FCs would be crazy. Same thing for Singapore as well. mrekk is going to be the break on the side of Australia. A very uncharacteristic miss there from mrekk. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure that is good news for Singapore, though. They're only 200k behind, and this is closable maybe. It's 200k.
We're getting really close to the end, though. There's not that much time left.
mrekk breaks again, but megumic breaking, and that's the second FC on the side of Singapore, so that's certainly going to be it. And wow, Australia really escaping that one there. mrekk going to be thanking his teammates for that one, but some good performances on the side of Singapore too. Demonical and SeeL were able to put up those FCs, and Dumii, of course, missing the last note, showing mrekk, hey, I didn't FC too, man. It's all good. As we're going to get the 2 rookies on the side of Australia, FCing Demonical and SeeL FCing as well. So we're off to a good start. And as you can see, wow, this is what this match is going to be. Hey, dead even, 2 FCs apiece.
I like seeing this a ton for Australia, though, because obviously everyone is looking at mrekk for this team, right? Like, definitely the star player. There is no question about it. And we've seen him very recently show that he's kind of one of the best tournament players in the world, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
They don't even need him. Like, he was the weakest player there on both teams. Not to say they did bad. He almost FC'd, right? Just 2 misses, unfortunately. But like, they have a team to back him up, and that's scary.
Yeah, really interesting there. It's a funny thing mrekk does where he match costs as the match is going, as like a little boost of momentum for him and confidence. So it's going to be funny to see him do that one. But however, Singapore are going to pick their free mod too. This is the AR8 option. Not too surprising.
I think this is also a really good pick for them. Singapore have tended to like a lot of the more free mod picks. I think Australia doesn't tend to go for them nearly as much. And I think they have a really strong roster for this kind of thing. But like you said, this is AR8, so it's a little bit uncomfortable, but at least relative to like last week's AR8 free mod, we talked about all the time how much easier it was to play it with Hard Rock. I don't think this is the case here. Like, this plays like a pretty standard AR8, so you're probably going to see a lot more NoMod. Expecting for the Singapore side to have emilia hidden and probably Demonical and Hard Rock.
Yeah, Singapore can put up a really... I'm wondering if Rtyzen is on for this, or what the go is there. There's a lot of players that can fill on this sort of map, I feel like, for Singapore. It's going to be emilia, and on the side of Australia, looks like we've got 3 of the 3 new players on the side of Australia playing this map, which would be rather interesting. It looks like we're probably going to get mrekk hidden and Milo Hard Rock. We'll see what the other 2 players do, as this is going to be the locked-in thing. So yeah, really a lot of new blood here on the side of Australia. 3 rookies for this map. And of course mrekk, who is 2nd year OWC now.
Yeah, I like seeing this. 2 Hard Rocks. Okay. That's...
Oh, so NoMod on suffix. Right. I'm a bit surprised to see some of these lineups here, but we'll see how it plays out. Got the suffix NoMod on the AR8. Vivace, Milo taking that Hard Rock and mrekk hidden.
I'm definitely looking at suffix, him being his first time in OWC was mentioned, right? I think most people would know him more as a DT player. So
yeah, DT.
Having like the complete opposite of the spectrum. Now he's playing like low AR, very slow song, right? So we'll see if he is able to match up to this.
Yep, he's got a hard name to verse in. GSBlank and megumic on that NoMod. Tebi as well. Not GSBlank on NoMod, megumic only, excuse me. But no starts to this old style mapping, kind of just AR8.
Yeah, and there isn't really that much that's going to catch players in particular on this map. It is a little bit of a... Oh, okay. It is a little bit of like a tribute to a lot of older style mapping. Of course, as the song uses a lot of like really old samples as well. But yeah, you can already tell the mapping is very old style. Lots of grid.
Yeah, and we've got a break from emilia on the side of the hidden on this map. Certainly the hardest of all of them to take. Definitely be a bit easier, harder for most players, that is. But yeah, you're looking to go mrekk versus emilia on the hidden here.
Yeah, I think those are definitely the highlights that you're looking at. Those are by far the hardest mods to take, I think. Hard Rocks, while comparable in difficulty, you're going to find a lot more players that are comfortable on those things. And
a big break from Milo there, and Suffix struggling quite a bit on the NoMod, but that break from Milo with the 99.4 is super unfortunate, as the Hard Rock on the side of Singapore is doing well, and they've still got the SS on the NoMod, 99%, and Kevin as well, Vivace going to fall over. GSBlank does follow suit, but it is still advantage Singapore, heavy advantage Singapore, as the FC is on mrekk for hidden. That is the hardest one to pull off. Singapore looking very well rounded on this right now.
Yeah, their NoMods are really strong on this. They're definitely making a statement. I would be very scared as Australia for the other free mods now, knowing that Singapore can pull this out.
Oh, absolutely. Emilia breaking on that repeat slider there, but yeah, you mentioned it. The NoMods on the side of Singapore just look so comfortable, and it actually is paying off here.
Yeah, you can kind of tell, mostly just by their accuracy, that Singapore is just a lot more comfortable on this, obviously with the exception of Emilia. But Hidden, we've mentioned Hidden is by far the hardest one.
Wait, there's a chance.
Hard, though. Okay.
There is a chance. It is mrekk versus megumic right now. We'd have to see megumic break, and mrekk could maybe do it for the Australians, but it'd have to be now. But GSBlank keeps on missing. Suffix has brought that combo up nicely, and so is Vivace. So there is a window here for Australia. It's closing quite fast, 100k, and I'm pretty sure advantage Australia.
There's some pretty hard reading to do here.
Oh, Vivace breaking. Oh, this is dead close. About 80k now. It's all on mrekk. He must FC. megumic has to hold it strong for Singapore, and everyone in Singapore has to hold on because Australia is closing in quickly. And megumic breaks, and that's the opportunity right now. It's mrekk for the side of Australia, who was the letdown last map, but Suffix has done a great job in bringing his comment back up as well. He's going to flicker over.
Yeah, Suffix just quietly in the background brings it back. No further misses, gives the mrekk that supporting combo that they need, and they still at the very end.
mrekk definitely making up for those earlier mistakes in the last map, being the only FC with hidden on that map. So if we had any doubts about how he was going to perform today, unfortunately, those are all gone, as that is just a hidden FC. And yeah, Suffix struggling a bit on that intro, but certainly brought it back up. Credit to megumic, SeeL and Tebi as well, who put on great NoMod scores on that map. Just couldn't bring it through the entire map.
Yeah, I've got to say this is probably a little bit of a fluke score for Singapore. At least they're two NoMods, right? Megumic and Tebi, but both had very good accuracies, like in the high 99s, just one miss, and that's all that needed to happen for that difference, right? So losing their first pick going to impact them a little bit, and now they have to play the last speed pick of the of the Mappol essentially right off the bat. So
yeah, wow. Australia are really using this. We were wondering when they were going to pick this, of course. They saw Singapore wanted to ban this, so wondering when it was going to be. And it looks like they're just going to take it early to get that nice momentum. It is, of course, 1st to 6, so we got a long match here.
Yeah, I think best of 11s are always going to be a little bit more forgiving to breakpoints like that. You have a lot more time to just bring things back, right? Like, it's not a massive deal if you blunder on one pick or two.
Yep. Yeah, that's such a heartbreaking loss for Singapore there. They really did have really heavy advantage at halfway, but just couldn't bring it home. mrekk is able to FC that, as Australia do look to get this speed pick underway. We're going to see Suffix play yet another map. Dumii LR7 mrekk. I don't expect to see mrekk moving from that slot. Emilia, we see GSBlank and Demonical, and that's a great lineup from the side of Singapore on the DT. That's scary.
I was going to talk about Australia, actually. If you see these 4 players and you think of their DT lineup, this is exactly who I'm thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely right. No stranger to the speed here on the side of Australia. This is one of those. This is probably my favorite map of the pool. It felt so nice to play such a good speed map. This one, awesome map.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough though. 261 DPM, has a couple of lengthier streams, and immediately Singapore not looking too good on this intro.
Yeah, that intro definitely cool. I think Emilia's was Bancho, but he is on 83. It wasn't Bancho. I'm so confused. Is everyone broken?
He wasn't playing in the first like 2 seconds.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. And megumic, of course, with an early break. But GSBlank looking nice. Demonical looking all good. Australia hosting 299s right now. And this one, the map towards the end, the bursts do get really hard. If you're not warmed up, like mrekk, another break. So that's 2 on the DT for mrekk, and that's advantage Singapore now. But Emilia's accuracy really struggling, and megumic breaking is not doing them any favors. going to still be advantage Australia with the 3 FCs. We've seen it in the past. If you can out combo your opponent, you can win it. So Emilia holding that 500 combo doesn't. The 99 on suffix and Jordan LR7 might not mean much if they break, but mrekk a second break there. Maybe not fast enough for this one right now. Maybe just getting on. Singapore holding strong. 3 FCs, just the megumic break so far.
I think it goes to say they put all the speed picks on the table immediately, and mrekk's not even warm, and everyone else on the team is just doesn't care. They're still doing it.
Demonical breaking. That's heartbreak for Singapore there. That is a big break for the side of Singapore. It's just GS, and he's going to break as well. It's just Emilia. He's not FCing. He's 91 versus a 99, a 98, and a 97 FC here. Yep, mrekk, of course. LOL carried. As the Australians are looking ever so good on this speed pick.
I think now the only question remaining is just like, how good is the final score here? There's nothing that Singapore can really do to come back in this. Like, there's just way too much going on. These 3 players, though, like, seriously, these DT performances are pretty insane.
Yeah, this is looking like a clinic right now. Australia just so comfortable on this sort of map. And wow. It's actually going to be 3 FCs and mrekk. No, Dumii is trolling. Dude, Dumii is trolling. That's the second map. They won't get the 4 mil. That was definitely a troll miss. There's just no way around it.
I refuse.
But Suffix having a match. Jordan LR7 is going to come in and FC that. Suffix playing out of his mind this match so far. He's really doing work for the Australians. And yeah, we can see why Singapore wanted that map banned. Unfortunate that they did blunder that pick ban phase, and it's just one of those things that's unfortunate. But they looked really good in that free mod too, and there's still a lot open.
Okay, but now I think for Singapore, this is probably where their match actually starts. I think they got the map that they're not winning out of the way. So they have a lot of things open on the pool. Unfortunately, their first pick didn't work out too well, but there's so many things that this team wants to do. And immediately, okay, one of the new picks, so the 3rd hidden pick, this is not exactly a new map, right? This is actually pretty dated. I think this is from 2015.
Yeah, it's funny calling this one. It's funny to me calling this one like not a new map now, because I still remember this map when it was new. Such a good map. It has an this is the cut stream hidden one, right?
Yep. And I don't think we've really seen anything like this so far. So there's not a lot of precedent like in this World Cup for these teams to go off of, right? So I'm kind of interested to see how Singapore does. I'm wondering what their roster will end up feeling like.
This is one of those maps where there isn't a lot of history on this sort of slot. What would you even call this type of map? Like hidden streams, I guess.
Just cut streams.
Yeah. The lineup for Australia isn't including Machine, so looking like Machine might not actually be there for the side of Australia, as sort of unusual to see. There's Suffix playing this map would be very interesting. It means, he's come to play today, and Demonical, Tebi, megumic, and Emilia on the side of Singapore. We saw Singapore do really well on that last free mod with the NoMods. See how they go on the hidden.
Oh, there we go. The 2 Jordans.
JTB is stepping in for his first map now. Yeah, we got the double Jordan here. That's not gonna be annoying to cast. I was gonna say JTB.
It's JTB and LR7, right?
Yeah. Yep. Easy. But yeah, we've seen mrekk struggle quite a bit in this match today on the DT. At least he did come in and perform on that hidden, so it's probably just a speed thing right now for him, I'd assume. But of course, this is Singapore's pick.
I think for players of mrekk's caliber, a map like this is extremely standard, regardless of the mods you put on it. Like I think this is relatively straightforward. It's also so old, so like pretty much everyone in this lobby has played this before it was pooled.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, like, this is a map that everybody has played. So I'm still expecting some good things. Also, he looked really good on that free mod when he basically carried the whole team on hidden, right? So
we're gonna see LR7 miss, but it's alright. Demonical and Tebi both breaking in that first intro as well, so about dead even almost still. Oh, LR7 making you see Demonical all pretty much dying. LR7 lost a lot of score on that one. It's only Emilia on the side of Singapore holding that combo, and everyone else on Australia, Dumii missing as well. Jordan missing as well. It's just mrekk already.
All right, we're seeing it again.
It's mrekk versus Emilia. Yep, this is literally a 1v1 right now. All the teams are falling over. It's just Emilia and mrekk who were able to hold through that intro.
So I'm kind of excited to see where this leads, though, because I think they got all of their misses out of the way early. They had their oops moment. Now they can focus a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, so it's really the only 94 now.
It's going to start being about the people that recover, not so much about the people that are FCing, right? I think they're going to keep on FCing.
Yep, it's just the strong outlier in LR7 with a kind of hitting that intro a little harder than everyone else. But everyone is rebuilding now as we get in towards... Oh, Dumii missing is important. We are in the rebuild stage, so that is going to hurt the Australians as the score goes over to the side of Singapore. And this ending is so hard. Like, you could really die on this ending. LR7, Demonical, Tebi all breaking, still advantage. Singapore megumic breaking. Does bring it back to the Australians because JTB is holding with mrekk right now. It's 200k to boot. mrekk missing and Emilia holding is definitely good news for Singapore.
So I was going to talk about this actually. So this map, you'll either see a miss on a random jump and it's not going to be too impactful, or you're going to miss-aim a stream and just chain misses and take your score. We've seen it happen so many times on this map already, right?
Oh no, Emilia isn't going to be able to FC, but he's done enough. He has done his part for Singapore. What a performance. And Australia really looking all out of sorts on the hidden pick there. Singapore able to take that one home, but yeah, it wasn't pretty from both teams, I'd have to say. It was kind of a scrappy fight.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, honestly, compared to the other maps that we were seeing FCs on everything, or at least several FCs on both sides, or close to them, and now we're not really seeing anything. It was pretty much just Emilia that was very close, pulled in the weight, though. Definitely Singapore just definitely needed this pick, right? So you don't want to start this match 0-4, losing your first two picks, right? So good job on Emilia for this.
You did bring it up before. This is where the match starts. Australia is out of speed to pick. Like, there is no more speed abuse to be had on any of these maps. So now we've really got kind of a fair fight if you look at it like that. The NoMod 2 is kind of the only outlier because that one's very stamina intensive. So if you don't have the stamina for some of the DTs, that NoMod 2 can hit you hard.
One thing to talk about, though, is that we mentioned Australia likes their speed, but they're still able to pick a lot more stuff. We saw against Germany, they went for many other picks. Against Germany, I think they went for the low BPM hard rock. They went for NoMod alt. Like, they went for a lot of different picks. They went for low AR hidden. Like, they have a lot of things. Maybe you could fault them a little bit for those picks because they didn't really go super well. I think with the really, like, those kind of pedestal expected teams, they're going to be able to pick almost every map in a pool, and it's just going to depend on who they're versing. What they pick is very, you know, it's a lot different. So seeing Australia pick completely different in two different, you know, you've got Germany, you've got Singapore, two very different, you know, caliber teams and the expectations of everyone. They're going to pick different, and this is one of those matchups where the speed abuse and the stamina abuse is rampant, but those other picks, they're probably expecting Singapore to pick them, and that's I think what we're going to see here as they do go for the NoMod 2 lineup. Dumii, mrekk, LR7 and suffix. So suffix in again, mrekk not leaving, Loslite, SeeL, Demonical and Tebi on the side of Singapore. I think this is Loslite and SeeL's first maps being played, if I'm not wrong. At least Loslite.
Yep, Loslite, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it. I think SeeL might have played earlier, but this map is worth talking about because this one was so this is one of those maps that's just unplayable if you can't play it. It's so hard.
So I think even though this is like the stream slot, I think everyone who is going to play this is probably going to consider this an aim map. The stream aim required, while not like super complicated, just there's a lot of like overlapping like streams that will go back on each other or just form like circles on top of each other. It can be pretty tricky to aim. I think it's a little bit unconventional, so that might end up seeing some impact here. You can already see what this map is going to look like for the next 3.5 minutes.
Suffix immediately breaking, and yeah, it pushes the stamina because it's so long, but definitely the aim requirement to hit these streams is certainly the aspect to look for, because you could have all the stamina in the world and still chain miss a stream. Just it's so hard to put those two together. But advantage Singapore out of the intro. Very long map, this one, 3.5 minutes.
There we go. First hard part here. See if it catches anyone. Demonical will be the first victim, actually.
Yeah, these streams, they're everywhere. The whole map is just streams. Some of them are so much harder than the rest, and everyone got through that first one kind of alright. Just Demonical. The accuracy on the side of Singapore is so high. You've got 3 99s and no 99s on the side of Australia. I'm really looking at someone like mrekk to kind of have a field trip with a map like this. You know, it's one of those warm-up maps for a player like him. Not pushing that mechanical thing too hard for him. But look at Tebi's AC, 99.8. SeeL breaking.
Oh.
Dumii matches suit. Dumii missed a lot more than SeeL, and with Tebi with the accuracy and Demonical coming back, it's looking good for Singapore.
This is a very...
Oh, LR7, it's just mrekk.
Oh, the collapse.
Oh, it's no one. It's all Tebi. It's just, and he's broken as well.
Okay.
We're dead even halfway through the match. There is no advantage. It's just Tebi, maybe a little bit on the side of Singapore, because he's got that 99.6. What a... Dude, he would have been so nervous holding such high accuracy going to halfway.
Now it's interesting, and you're looking at Demonical, who is the only break, and now he's the only one.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice. Oh yeah, it's heavy advantage Singapore. Dumii can't seem to hold a combo, but that was the one break you're probably going to get from someone like mrekk on a map like this. It's not likely that they chain miss, so Demonical has to run away with this one.
Again, though, this is one of those maps where if you miss once at the wrong time, you're going to miss several times. Almost every single one of these misses we've been seeing. Look at Tebi. Look at what's happened to Tebi. That's exactly what happens. You just miss a single note in the stream and you die.
This is looking like a very mid score for this side of Australia. Look like everyone going to get around 600k. Loslite breaking does give a bit of hope because the three of them are rebuilding an mrekk suffix LR. Demonical has to break though. He can definitely run away with this. SeeL has a bigger combo than anyone on the side of Australia too, so good advantage to the side of Singapore. Not really mattering that Tebi is unfortunately playing the second half a lot harder than the first half.
There we go. Last hard part here. I think Demonical's already kind of done it, but it's still pretty close.
Oh, chain miss.
Has recovered.
You can lose score on a map like this really quickly, so it's scary, but oh god, it's closing. Loslite and Dumii chain missing, losing a lot of score there, but SeeL and Demonical just solid.
There we go. He's doing it.
They've done it. Wow, what a performance from Demonical there. Just breaking at the start, pretty much reverse choking. Everyone on the side of Australia missed it dead in the middle. You can see there, 1163, 1132, 1000, like everywhere in the middle. And Demonical with the 1727, 1-2. Dude, what a mat. Everyone got above a K combo pretty much.
I love that about Demonical, that it's so early on, you're like, oh, he's the only miss, it's going to go bad. Yep. And now he's the one carrying them at the very end when no one else would. So, yep. Very good on Singapore, though. They needed this pick as well. Like, this is huge morale for them, right? We talked about how Australia is...
Oh, that was a break point.
And Singapore is fighting back on one of them. And now it's kind of their playground, right? I would have expected, I think, Australia to look to have some more points before they get to this point. They're going to have to pull out, I think, some wild cards potentially. But I did talk during the draft. These NoMod 3 and NoMod 4 maps, still unpicked, I think, are pretty solid advantages on paper for both teams, right? So
I want to talk a little bit about the lineup of the Australians that they've kind of been putting on what is like their strongest lineup. So they've been putting the 4 of their kind of best players for a lot of these maps. And a lot of those players aren't going to play a lot of the maps together. And there it is. It's Dio featuring Seth A, map by Lesger. This is a classic. This is my favorite map of all time. I saw this was in the pool and it's so cool. This is one of those maps. It's DT old, but it's old, so it's a lot of reading, and a lot of these newer players should struggle on a map like this. It's not something you get to practice. No one really maps this sort of style, and you have to go out of your way to find maps like this now.
We talked about this at the start. This is probably Singapore's pick. They're one pick, right? So pretty interesting to see how they do on this, right? Just historically, you said in OMF, did really good on this type of map, so...
Yeah, they actually, Singapore was able to beat Australia in the old map Fantasy World Cup. That was about 2 months ago. They did knock Australia into losers bracket. So a bit of a rivalry here. Just picking the old map makes it even tastier. Dumii, of course, being a part of that roster. needs to get his vengeance, but this is Singapore's pick, and it's the DT. Yeah, we were saying before, you know, Australia picking all the DTs except this one. You're not expecting Singapore to ban it, so here they are picking it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of if by some off chance people are not familiar with this map somehow, it's going to be pretty familiar to another map by the same mapper named Tide Machine, which 100% everyone here has played. I would hope, if not, go play it. It's a classic.
Taj Machine, yeah, that's a banger as well.
But yeah, I mean, lots of even though like just as a direct comparison to that map, because I think that's the one style of map that people are going to be expecting when they see this. This has a lot more aim. It's a little bit deceiving. It looks very similar, but some of the patterns require a lot of like very just micro adjustments. They don't flow the way you would expect them to. I think here I'm actually looking at a player like mrekk, who's kind of known to like snap to everything really well on a map like this. I think that's what I'm looking at because it's kind of what's required.
Yeah, this is one of those maps that looks way easier on stream than it is to play, because it's really hard to read this sort of map for most newer players. Seeing some early breaks out of the start of Singapore, but suffixes answer. There's a lot of, oh my god, everyone broke on Singapore. It's just mrekk Dumii. Dummy's SS. Dumii was SS through the intro. Like, no one was close. It was just worth pointing out. No, it's mrekk Dumii right now on the side of Australia. Everyone's broken on Singapore, so
this might be kind of what we're seeing on this map. There's like some of these key patterns, like here in this section, I'm expecting a couple breaks. There's just these key sections that they don't look too hard, but then 6 people miss on them.
Yeah, well, everyone's actually kind of played that section out of their minds. I completely agree with you. That is hard. As we get into the sort of only free combo of the map, Dummy's going to break. And mrekk's going to break. That's huge. That's advantage Singapore heavy. It's all of them holding. Just Tebi is broken. And eyes on LR7, who just broke. My bad.
Okay.
Advantage Singapore right now as we get into the second half.
And you look at the combos, right? It's only 300. This map does not have that much combo. This is a huge amount, and they take it already.
This last section, you'd have to see them pretty much like fall over, but they're not gonna. Look at this. Emilia breaking, LR7 breaking, Demonical, another reverse choke, pretty much. Wow, a blunder on the side of Dumii mrekk. They really broke in the sort of only non-hard part of the map. Unfortunate there. But yeah, dude, it's 3-all, and Singapore take that pick. So that's huge, because that's the first pick that they won, right? Oh no, they won their pick earlier. It's okay. We're 3-3 apiece.
It's 3-3, and again, what is Australia picking for these last 2 maps? We're really unsure of it. Singapore still has a lot of things they haven't tapped into yet. They really like their hiddens. They haven't really picked many of them. Well, one of them was picked, but like there's 2 of them still open. There's a lot of things that Singapore can go for here.
Yeah, I think you probably bank on Singapore picking a free mod next. So we're looking at most likely one of the NoMods. Oh god, this is interesting. I honestly think NoMod 4, considering Singapore, they didn't like the NoMod 4.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's the one. I think at this point, I don't think you're looking at anything else in the pool, really. Maybe some of the hard rocks. We haven't touched any of the single hard rocks.
Yeah, Australia probably most definitely has to pick the hard rock.
Also,
here, right?
Actually, maybe free mod 1 would be pretty good for Australia. It is pretty much just a pure aim map. There's not much more to it than that, and I think some of their players are going to look pretty comfortable on it if they want to consider that as an option. Like we talked about, Singapore likes their free mod, but the 2 remaining free mods aren't really anywhere close to the one that was picked. Right? Free mod 1 is all aim. Free mod 3, I think, is hard to describe, but it's CS2, I think, or CS3 or something. Like it's pretty particular. So
the scariest map right now for me is NoMod 3. I think both teams think they have a slight edge on a map like NoMod 3, and I think they're dead even. So it might go. I hope that one gets picked. It'll be interesting to see who picks that one. Hard Rock has to get touched. Australia,
there it is.
Such a strong Hard Rock, but they're going to go NoMod 4.
Good. Okay, so this is a scary turning point for Australia, right? They only have 1 pick after this. This is probably the last pick that I think you could say they have an advantage on. This has to go well for them, or else they're in for a lot of trouble against Singapore's next 2 picks, right? So they need the points here. It's all tied up, right? So it's 3-3. This has to go well for them. So who do they bring out?
It's definitely Dumii mrekk on a map like this. Suffix, I really don't know about the last one. We have seen no machine, so it's almost fair to assume he's not here for this match. But in saying that, have we seen Rtyzen on the side of Singapore?
I don't think so.
But yeah, we'll see what they do. This lineup would definitely include an mrekk. He probably played the map for the first time, as he does side read map pools, even in OWC, interestingly. Is Singapore going to bring their 4? Looks like it's... It does looking like it.
So there's not much to go off of because, as Demonical said, Singapore has banned this map every single match they've been in so far. So just looking at their qualifiers, neither team really had crazy scores on this, I would say. It was basically just Dumii. But on the side of Singapore, I'm definitely looking at Demonical, who had some of the best accuracy on that map in the entire qualifiers. So I'm curious to see what he can do on this one. It's fairly different, but yeah, I'm definitely looking at him on the side of Singapore to see what he can pull out.
Yeah, Demonical has been popping off this match as well. Like, he's just been playing solid for the side of Singapore. Have to see what Australia can do. This is their pick. 3 apiece, a very close match. It's been awesome so far.
Have Dumii and mrekk played every single map? I think they have.
No, I think Dumii might have sat out for one of them. I'm not sure. I feel like we had the 3 rookies on a map, and it was mrekk and 3 rookies. Yeah, I think that I don't remember what map it was. But anyway, this map kicks off pretty hard.
Yeah, this has a lot of, I'm not quite sure how to describe this, just a lot of like small motions to do. And immediately, GSBlank, the first miss as well as big act drops on Demonical, giving Australia a pretty sizable lead actually.
Yeah, this is one of these shorter maps, so score does escape very quickly.
Also, I think, if I'm not wrong, I think it's even shorter than this length indicate. I think there's a break in this. At least there was at one point.
Oh, megumic chain missing that stream is bad news, Singapore. No one on the side of Australia has broken yet, and they're looking a lot more in form on this sort of map. No one broke on the intro, so everyone's off to that good start.
Yeah, this is how I would have liked to see Australia look on this map, so it's good that they can deliver, but there's still a third of it left.
Oh, that tick does catch LR7. Oh, SeeL breaking. It's only Demonical GS slightly less common, but 3 on the side of Australia, suffix, mrekk, and Dumii. Oh, 400k to go. This is it. Australia put on a show this map. No one on the side of Singapore is really hanging in. mrekk, suffix broke the exact same slider tick. It's just Dumii.
Just look at the score difference on this. Like, you could just tell the difference and how more. Look at the accuracy differences on all of them.
Everything.
This is such a good pick for them.
Yeah, wow, that is. Yeah, well done to the Australians. mrekk's accuracy is absurd on that. But yeah, well done to the Australians for taking that one out. A great pick. That kind of looking like apart from the speed picks, that was, yeah, definitely the best pick that they've done so far. So well done to them there.
That was the last one I think we were talking about, right? We talked about speed. I was talking about this a lot. There's something else, and I don't think either of us know what that something else is. But,
could be anything.
Yeah, first it's going to be Singapore's pick. They still have 2 picks left to go. Singapore has tended to like a lot more hidden, I would say, and a lot more of the more alt-centered picks. There's still the NoMod alt open that's available to them.
It's so scary. That NoMod 3 is so long. It's so hard. It's one of those maps where if you're picking this sort of map and you're versing someone like a White Cat or an mrekk, you know, any of those like really high cards, it's scary because they could always just, you know, it could just be a nothing map to them when it's a really hard map. So it's a scary pick, but Singapore have delivered on NoMod 3s all throughout the tournament. So you've got to wonder could they really not pick this? This could potentially be their last pick. So all things on the table here, you can't hide anything. Die times right now.
I think Singapore respects Australia too much on the Hard Rock to pick them, so realistically they don't have that many picks. At some point I think NoMod 3 has to come out. I was going to talk about this map just now. This is probably the closest map that aligns with what their strengths are, right? So this is not necessarily an alt pick for this map. It's CS3, and it's 145 BPM. It's pretty much an alt map, we could say. And I think they have the players to show up for this, right? Again, we saw Millie hidden, did pretty well on the last free mod, considering how hard that one is. We'll have to see who picks the hard rock this time around now.
Yeah, it looks like Australia is maintaining this core of Dumii, mrekk, suffix. This might be something new for the Australians on that roster here. And it looks like that's like a staple 3 almost, playing a large majority of these maps.
One small thing to add here, we did see a couple of overmods last time. We saw 2 hard rocks on the side of Australia. Hard rock is the tank mod on this map. Hard rock is much harder than hidden and NoMod on this one. I'm not expecting any team to take 2. Like any team this tournament that plays this, don't expect anything to any team to have 2 hard rocks. There's no way.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out GSBlank isn't actually here with the hard rock for the side of Singapore, actually seeing this one out. But we do have Milo on the side of Australia for most certainly that hard rock spot.
Yeah, hard rock with the extra points as well. Hidden, I guess, is pretty free on this, so might as well just take it.
Yeah, it's one of those. It might just be one of those preference things.
Yeah, there's not really any like reading or anything in this. It's kind of somewhat.
Oh god,
this beginning is really hard. This beginning is really hard. This is going to happen.
Yep, this is definitely going to happen every match. Everyone is just going to fall apart. This, and I think the hidden one stream in Vegas as well has that. mrekk, the only one to not really get blasted by that. It's just him and Emilia Dummies trading there.
I think so. Something that always happens with these like super low CS picks is that there's like this adjustment period that needs to happen that just makes you go, wait, these are big circles. I need to adjust. Like, there's no like warm up in between these, right? Like if they play the last map, they're gonna just go into this. So there's that like transition period, and you've already seen kind of everyone recover from that initial period of whatever you want to call that. But
it starts so abrupt too. But yeah, worth pointing, dude. Emilia's on 89%, so his scores are really low. You're going to be looking at him kind of tying with Dumii sort of on that combo, but mrekk and suffix the only 2 FCs out of that intro.
Everyone's recovered, actually. Just no further breaks after that. So anything that happens here is going to be really impactful. There's a BPM change pretty soon. Right immediately after this, actually. It's pretty impactful. It's a slight BPM change, but it's enough for you to notice it.
That last stream was crazy and everyone hit it. Oh, suffix is bright. That's Australia's FC.
Right here. Loslite gets hit.
Rogue. Oh, mrekk and everyone in Australia really recovering there. This is still neck and neck. 300k advantage Australia though. You have to see a break from mrekk.
It's still close, but there's not much map left. Like, something has to happen.
Australia might get away with this breakpoint here. mrekk on that hidden FC. Tebi falling. It's Demonical Emilia, but 4 high scores. Yeah, this is unfortunately it for Singapore. They are now match point down.
The last spacing here, gonna catch anyone? Maybe big spacing at the end.
mrekk is going to FC his second free mod with hidden. He did like you get to put mrekk on quote unquote the tank mod some of the times. The last free mod it was certainly. But yeah, you get to put the hidden, like if you're playing mrekk on the tank mod and he's kind of FCing it, it's really good stuff there on the side of Australia. It's such a nice relief to have that on your team. But yeah, Singapore had some really high scores. That was a kind of a high scoring map pretty much.
And I think most notably, Dumii did miss like the last note for like the third map this match.
Has to do it. Just cannot close on those ending. And it's Australia's chance to close it here and send Singapore home. It's the last pick for Australia. They'll get one more.
Both hard rocks there, I think, did incredibly well. I think 700k and 800k on both of them. That's really impressive for this match. Hard rock is super hard on it. And now Australia has the last pick, and I mean, not much open. There's only 6 maps.
Yeah, this is
7. My bad.
It's hard rock 1, so they're going with the hard. This is flat out just aim consistency for 3 minutes. So cool. I like this map. Like 2.5 maybe.
So it's good that we're seeing some hard rock being played. I was wondering when it was gonna, there aren't that many picks left, so at some point we're gonna have to start picking one of them. This is, again, like you said, it's a very simple map. Lots of, honestly, just like star jumps. Everyone's gonna be very familiar with this mapping style. I think probably looking at Milo and mrekk for this on Australia.
Yeah, JTB.
JT,
It's definitely a JTB map if I've ever seen one. This one's just the aim. But it looks like Singapore not doing any roster swaps from that free mod, right? Emilia was it?
Yeah, I think so. Just emilia for GSBlank. Actually, SeeL was 12th, and I believe.
Yeah, Emilia is sitting this one out. So yeah, we saw a bit of panic from Demonical when Australia picked this. There was 3 hard rocks left open. Someone had to pick it eventually. It looks like Australia's going to go with it because it could just be one of those things where they actually don't have a good hard rock lineup when we have to pick this. It might not be a respect thing. It might be a they can't hang on it.
Alright, small thing to mention about this map. Usually aim picks, so NoMod 1, hard rock ones, are going to be kind of marathons. They're going to be long stretches of consistency. This is not that. It's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes. It's very condensed. It's difficult for a short time, but it is very difficult.
Yeah, I like this map. This was featured, I believe it was Perennial or Corsace about a year ago.
Yep, Corsace.
It was awesome there. Yep. This can come down to the wire. I remember in that tournament, you can get 7 FCs to the end on this map. It is one of those, if everyone's got a kind of a good aim day, it is kind of easy for them.
Yeah.
If they get through halfway, they're probably going all the way pretty much on a map like this.
Singapore just really have to get this pick down. This is their last chance here. They have a pick after this if they win it, but again, staring at match point here and also elimination. This is a lower bracket match, so
yeah, losers bracket match. The nerves are peaked right now on the side of Singapore. And we'll see if Australia can keep their composure and send them out. As this looks like such a good pick from the side of Australia. I was kind of thinking to see more of these hard rock 1 NoMod 1s, and 2 breaks on the side of Singapore early is disastrous because you really need to catch your aim on a map like this. Suffix does answer, so we're still 3-2.
one thing to point out about this map is, again, it's very consistently difficult. There isn't really any spikes or anything, maybe other than the ending.
Yeah,
so any single note here can catch anybody.
Yep. That's why the early misses, they kind of hurt a lot on these aim picks. You really got to find that groove, find your area, and be comfortable. But we've got 2 SSs on the side of Australia, mrekk and Milo. SeeL, another break. So yeah, a bit of struggling on this map here. Need GSBlank and Demonical and Loslite to pick that up. But Loslite falls again. It's just the 2 on the side of Singapore. Demonical breaking. It's all GSBlank now versus he's staring at a wall. That break giving them a bit of, if they were able to see the score, a lot of confidence on the side of Australia and nerves on the side of Singapore. Despair even.
I would say nerves on the side of Australia. Usually when you're looking at this and you're like, hey guys, we're winning, it's almost over. That's when it gets you.
Yeah, maybe complacency, but mrekk's still holding that SS. As we get into sort of the ending, GSBlank breaking, certainly.
It's done.
Certainly going to wrap this up for Singapore now. Australia, pretty much 4 FCs. Jordan, mrekk, and Milo still FC. Look at the act on mrekk and Milo. JTB is going to miss on the aim there.
But yeah, definitely gave it their all, honestly. Looking really good on 3 of their picks, and also their first free mod pick, which was really close. Again, coming in here kind of as huge underdogs, right? So pretty decent performance from them, all things considered.
Yeah, it's really, I hate to blame Australia's qualifier seeding on this one because Australia and Germany should not be matching up that early in this OWC. So getting one of those early on, it's always so sad when one of those powerhouse teams goes into losers, and you're one of those teams like Singapore that really can go the distance. Yeah, Milo and Suffix.
Milo, what is that? That's hard rock, man. You're not supposed to do this. What is that, 200s?
Yeah.
200s, okay.
This is the specialty that you're going to see through Australia, this OWC. Milo stepping in for those hard rocks, and he's no slouch to the act. Also the DT ult. But it's going to be GG's there. Singapore going home, Australia advancing to their next match tomorrow night. And yeah, it's just unfortunate for Singapore, really. The unfortunate circumstances going up against, either Australia or Germany this early is so sad. Such a great team.
I mean, honestly, the whole tournament, I think for Singapore, I think the seeding did them a little bit dirty. They faced UK in the first round as well, which has been really strong. We're going to be seeing them tomorrow as well. But yeah, unfortunately, they're going to have to go out for now. Thank you for playing. See you next year. As for Australia, they get to move on, and they're going to face the winners of Sweden versus Philippines.
Yeah, so Australia in for a tough weekend. It looks like most likely the hard rock will be tested a lot more in those sort of matches. Not as much hidden. But yeah, GG's to Australia and Philippines win. That is later on tonight, I believe. Maybe tomorrow morning, depending where you are. But that will be it, right?
There's a big old chunk of matches coming up on screen now. Unfortunately, a lot of them are like kind of at the same time, so we're not going to be seeing all of them on stream. But yeah, I think this win was really important for Australia. If you look at the matchups in the losers brackets, like the pairings that can go in the next couple of matches, they definitely have like the easier ones.
Oh,
I think,
they
like,
don't.
some of the other sides, like there's like Taiwan in one of them. This next match is going to be so impactful. There's a bracket in the losers bracket that consists of Indonesia, Romania, and Chile and France. Those are not lower bracket teams.
Yeah, this is the losers bracket now is a rough road for all the teams and losers. After this week, it's going to be ludicrous. But yeah, until then, there's a big break between our next matches. But be sure to tune in there for, I believe, Romania and Indonesia is the streamed one.